The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, I'm Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at a boat from Chaparral's H2O lineup, the 21 Ski and Fish. She starts out the day as a typical bow rider with bow seating, a pair of bucket seats at the consoles, but transforming her into a fishing boat is an easy affair, mostly involving removal of seat pads. At the bow, a casting deck is quickly created by removing the cushions and then flipping back the hinge center fill-in, and both a rod holder and pedestal mount are exposed. Then, a pedestal that stores under the hatch is put in place, and one of the aft seats is relocated to the bow. The other aft seat simply gets a pedestal added to it from the hatch underneath and then mounts to the aft deck. A padded seat can remain between the aft pedestal locations, and underneath it is a built-in 70-quart aerated live well. An elevated casting deck at the stern has yet another pedestal base. A hatch to port covers the main battery, to starboard is open space. She comes pre-rigged for a standard trolling motor. A saltwater trolling motor is also available. Dual batteries for the trolling motor are inside the port console, and a cord to the charger is just under the console. Rod holders are to the port bulwarks. And just like that, she's all rigged for fishing. So much for playing underwater. For on the water, a water toy inflator stores under the rear starboard seat. To the stern is a full-width sun pad leading to a molded swim platform. A tow point is in the middle. A concealed reboarding ladder is to the starboard side, remaining in view of the helm. The 21 Ski and Fish is laid out much like one would expect from a bow rider. Just behind the forward anchor locker is V-seating with storage underneath the hinged hatches at the benches. A speaker and modest stainless grab handles are to either side. Wraparound bolsters make for accommodating more people. A walk-through windshield leads to a pair of bucket seats at each console. They both have flip-up bolsters, and I noticed how these don't have a tendency to drop down unintentionally. Double-stitched padded armrests are to the sides. And here's a nice touch. The MP3 port is inside the glove box, so the unit can stay protected from the elements on a padded surface. The marine-grade stereo is to the side, just above the console storage hatch. At the helm, Chaparral went with a custom-molded fiberglass console, colored tan to reduce glare. There's full instrumentation with fog-resistant lenses and brushed aluminum faces. The convenience package includes this tilt wheel, depth gauge, and compass. The windshield frames are high enough to not obstruct view. The usual storage access is to the side. The index storage is padded to protect your gear, and the hatch is supported by a gas strut. There's 4 cross seating at the stern. Underneath are 2 storage compartments to the sides with the battery switch inside the port compartment. And here's another example of the quality we've come to expect from Chaparral. Standard courtesy lights, stainless drink holders, and look at the upscale trimmed sand-colored snap-in carpet. Removing it for fishing makes for easy washdowns. There's a full-width sun pad ahead of the molded swim platform that measures 3 feet 3 inches by 6 feet 5 inches. A latch at the bottom releases the engine hatch, making short work of the daily checks. Externally, Chaparral went with 6 6-inch cleats, including 2 midship cleats. Now let's get underway. The Chaparral H2O 21 Ski and Fish has a length overall of 21 feet, a beam of 8 feet 4 inches, and a draft of 32 inches. With an empty weight of 3,200 pounds, full fuel, and 2 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 3,860 pounds. With the 220 horsepower catalyzed Mercruiser 4.3 MPI turning a 21-pitch 3-bladed prop, we reached a top speed at 4,800 RPM of 47.6 miles per hour. At that speed, we were burning 15.6 gallons per hour, giving us a range of 110 miles. Best cruise came in at 3,000 RPM and 29.3 miles per hour. That speed reduced the fuel burn to only 6.9 gallons per hour, which the H2O 21 could keep up for 153 miles and 5 hours and 12 minutes while still holding back a 10% reserve of fuel. We reached planing speed in 3.4 seconds, accelerated to 20 miles per hour in 5.6 seconds, and continued running through 30 miles per hour in 9.1 seconds. Upon acceleration, the bow comes up 15 degrees with no loss of visibility to the horizon from the seated position. Once on plane, bring the trim up to about the 1/4 mark on the trim gauge to get her into her optimal cruise attitude. If the trim is brought up too much, the propeller will start to ventilate, then just bring it back down and it'll be just about ideal. When turning, she leans 13 degrees into the turn and she clings to the water like she's on rails. There was no noticeable chine walk during the turns except when turning hard at full speed, something rarely done during normal operations. When taking power off, she settles back into the water stern first. The H2O series is billed as entry level, but with Chaparral that level is higher than others in class, and this H2O 21 Ski and Fish is another example of that level of quality. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.